Hello and welcome to Natural Informant Weekly. I'm Danny Curtin. Thank you for joining me today. Our lead story this week comes from the Daily Mail. The story titled, Alarm Over Mystery Cancer Epidemic Striking Under 50s. Scientists scramble to find the cause of the startling increase. The article points to recent data which shows a 22% increase in cancer incidence among those aged 25 to 49, compared to only a 9% increase in those over the age of 75. And this oversized rise in cancer in younger individuals is being seen throughout the world. Professor Andrew Beggs, a surgeon, consultant, and a senior clinical fellow at the University of Birmingham, has seen the increase firsthand, noting a massive increase in patients in their 40s developing cancer. Despite years of research, the cause behind this increase remains elusive, but many experts are attributing the surge to improved cancer detection methods, increased awareness of symptoms, and better screening for genetic conditions that heighten the cancer risk. But has there been that much improvement in screening techniques and awareness in the last 2 to 3 years? And what about the elephant in the room? Are there any doctors or scientists the least bit curious about the new rush-to-market medical interventions released in 2021 that coincide almost perfectly with this cancer uptick? Possibly, but as the article in the Daily Mail states, scientists are scrambling to find the cause. However, they seem to be looking everywhere but the most obvious place. This hesitancy isn't a surprise. There is so much fear of being professionally ostracized or even punished when it comes to challenging government-sponsored drugs, like those that lost their medical licenses for prescribing ivermectin. What's worse, drug company support is essential for a majority of the research and development in the healthcare sector. Which leads me to the princess, Kate Middleton. We've seen cancer develop in many young and famous individuals, but with the news about Kate Middleton undergoing cancer treatment, this issue jumps to a new level. With the worldwide love and interest in the lives of the royal family, I can only hope that a new, heightened sense of urgency develops for this troubling pattern. Maybe now, science will start looking in the most obvious place. And speaking of dangerous medical interventions, the makers of Ozempic are being sued and drug makers are getting nervous. The UK's version of the FDA, the MHRA, has launched a probe into the drug Ozempic with regards to suicidal thoughts and self-harm. The agency is reviewing 150 cases of self-injury and suicidal thoughts potentially caused by the drug, while at the same time a new study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association reveals concerns about pancreatitis and stomach paralysis. The JAMA study found that users of these types of drugs had over a 9 times higher risk of developing pancreatitis, while having over a 3.5 times higher risk of bowel obstruction and gastroparesis, more commonly known as stomach paralysis. Ozempic, Wegovy, and several others are drugs that contain semaglutide, which are GLP-1 inhibitors. These drugs are used to treat diabetes and to promote weight loss. The drugs slow down the passage of food in the digestive system, making users feel fuller longer, which leads to less eating and lower blood sugar levels. But with the massive spike in popularity and profits, the first lawsuit alleging Ozempic causes gastroparesis has been filed in the U.S. District Court in Louisiana. The attorneys from Morgan & Morgan are alleging Novo Nordisk, the makers of Ozempic and Wegovy, knew about these dangers, but failed to warn potential users about these known risks. They intend to file many more lawsuits, and attorneys nationwide are looking for injured clients for more potential litigation against the pharmaceutical manufacturer. So, if you are a potential user of any of these drugs, make sure you talk to your doctor about these potential health hazards. Maintaining a healthy weight is important, but at the very least, knowing about long-term and potentially irreversible harm is essential. But should consumers also be warned about the potential harm of one of the most common dietary supplements, vitamin D? The story of David Michener has been circulating across the web. Michener, an 89-year-old man, was recently admitted to the hospital with hypercalcemia, a rare condition in which calcium levels in the blood are far too high. Michener was admitted to the hospital when he complained of fatigue, nausea, and severe muscle weakness. Sadly, Michener died 10 days later. His primary cause of death was stated in the coroner's report as heart and kidney failure, excess blood calcium levels, and vitamin D toxicity. Vitamin D is essential for immune function, healthy bones, teeth, and muscles, but maintaining adequate levels of this vital nutrient can prove difficult, since the main natural source of vitamin D is sunlight. Many people supplement with vitamin D to reap the full benefits, and this is most likely why Michener was supplementing with the product. However, when doctors tested Michener's vitamin D blood levels, the results show that they were at the maximum recordable level, over 200 nanograms per milliliter. According to one of the doctors that treated Mr. Michener, he would have had to take upwards of 50 to 60,000 IUs of vitamin D per day for at least 9 months to achieve these extraordinary blood levels. The coroner, Jonathan Stevens, said that there weren't any warnings on or in the packaging detailing the specific risks or side effects of taking vitamin D supplements. Stevens urged the supplement manufacturer and regulatory bodies to do more to let people know how much they should take. But every supplement is required to have dosing guidelines, as well as a supplement facts panel that states the serving size. I'm sure Mr. Stevens has good intentions, but suggesting certain warnings be placed on these very safe products would prove detrimental and make consumers worry about a risk that is essentially non-existent. In order to achieve the 60,000 IUs per day of vitamin D, Michener would have had to take anywhere from 60 to 300 pills a day, depending on the product. Something tells me most people would think that amount might be problematic. And if warnings needed to be placed on anything that could cause harm, would bottled water need these warnings? Water overdose or water toxemia can cause confusion, fatigue, nausea, vomiting, muscle weakness, seizures, loss of consciousness, and can even cause death. Should bottled water companies be required to list this potential life-threatening risk so people don't drink too much? You see where I'm going. This is an unfortunate and very sad story. But if products as benign as vitamin D start having warnings, there's no end in sight for products that wouldn't need them. And if users start seeing a warning on every single thing they take, they'll probably start ignoring all of them. But if this story has you worried at all, keep in mind that the full benefits of vitamin D are only achieved when combined with vitamin K, especially vitamin K2. As we saw with this story, vitamin D brings calcium into the blood, but it's vitamin K that forces calcium from the blood into the bones. Exactly what you want to do, especially if avoiding excess calcium and vitamin D blood levels is your goal. If you enjoyed this content, please make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a week of the news you need to stay healthy. Again, I'm Danny Curtin. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.